What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Throttle Response Media, and today it's finally time to start working on the WRX build. So it's time to do what I've been planning for a while with this car, and we got some coilovers right here. So we got the Faction Fab. These are the FR spec coilovers. So for all of you that don't know Faction Fab, I really didn't know much about them before, but they make brakes. They make some other components for a lot of different cars, Fords, WRXs, and a few different models. But this is the coilover install, and I didn't know much about these coilovers, so I was kind of scared to buy them. But after some further research, it seems like they're a really good quality coilover, and it seems like Faction Fab's a great company. I really liked the communication back and forth with them before I bought these. So, and originally, in the first video I did about the WRX, I said I was going to do the Fortunato coilovers, which I still am going to be doing, but I'm planning to have the Faction Fabs just for maybe like a light track day, something like that, and also for daily driving. Now, these are the FR specs, so these are the race spec coilovers. It's like their top tier, which is still super cheap because these were only like 850 bucks, which is pretty awesome for a set of quality coilovers. But the spring rates on these are 12K in the front, 10K in the rear, or 10K in the rear, 12K in the front. So they're pretty stiff springs, but they're going to handle really well, and they have the full adjustments for hard, soft, all that stuff. But first of all, definitely want to give a shout out to Dan right here. This is his garage space, and as we know, right now there's snow on the ground. It's super cold. My garage definitely was not cutting it when it comes to being comfortable to actually do this full install. It probably would have taken me 3 days because I would have been coming in and out of the house. But yeah, let's get these coils on. So first of all, here we go. So you can check it out. Here go the rears right here. Super nice. The build quality looks really good from what I can see right away. But yeah, I'm excited. Here go the adjustment pins, everything you need there, and then the fronts. But I'll do a full, I'll get these all out of the box and show you guys what they all look like together. So, let's start. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed that little montage, but here go the coilovers. So again, they are really good quality. I'm really excited about these. So if you can, as you can see here, we have all the adjustments you need. You got your camber adjustment right there, which are going to be these guys, and then right here, that's going to be how we address the ride quality. So these guys, the little pins that they offer in the kit, that you stick them right in here, and you can adjust the ride quality, hard, soft, depending on how you want the ride to be. So if you want a track day, you go full hard. You guys probably already know everything about coilovers. I don't need to explain this stuff. But yeah, so really excited to put these in. But like I said again, they look really good. I haven't seen, I'm looking, I can't see any imperfections in paint, any chipping, anything like that. Everything just looks really quality. So happy about that for sure. So I mean, as far as right now, definitely shout out to Faction Fab because these coilovers look sweet. Overall, I'm super excited right now. Quality's great on these. And once again, shout out to Dan. Let me use this garage space because this is awesome. Really appreciate it, man. So thanks again. Appreciate it. But yeah, so let's go ahead and jack the car up and get these coilovers on because I don't feel like waiting anymore. All right. Alright guys, so we're going to start off with the front real quick. So I'm going to go ahead and get this wheel off and yeah, keep it going. All right guys, so real quick, I just wanted to do a size comparison on the old springs. So here we go, here go the massive old ones that came off the car, and then here go the Faction Fabs. So definitely, I think it's just crazy how much these weigh compared to Faction Fab, but yeah, so huge weight difference there. So we're definitely gonna be saving a lot of weight with these Faction Fab coilovers. So now I'm just gonna read up a little bit, figure out again how to adjust these and make sure they're ready to go on the car. So I'll get to that, and I might try to do a little tutorial on that, but honestly, probably not, just because you can get all the specs on how to adjust these coilovers online. So I'll just do that myself and get ready to throw them on. All right, after a little trial and error, I finally got these springs tightened where we need them. I don't know if this is right, but we kind of went with like just 2¼ inches on the ride height, so this collar right here, but everything else was pretty easy to kind of tighten up. So we'll see how this is. We'll put them all at this same height and then throw them on the car and see how the car looks. And if we need to adjust, we'll just do that after, I guess. So sounds good. Let's get these on. All right guys, so I'm just going to lift the car up, get it out of these jack stands, and test out this ride height. We got everything adjusted on the front, so we're gonna see how this does. All right, so let's check it out. Yeah, she's up there now. So that might be, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, for the winter, I kind of like it. So that's what I was going for. I was getting tired of scraping on everything in the winter, so I wanted up a little bit. This might be a little too much, maybe, because there is a little more wheel gap that I'd like. But I feel like when I get bigger tires on here too, when I get bigger wheels, they'll be pretty good though.
She'll feel up nice.
Yeah. So actually, I don't. What do you think? Do you think this is all right?
For the winter, it's perfect.
Yeah. I think this is good. So well, I think let's just follow this model for the rest of it. Except for the rears, we're probably gonna do what we did, 2¼ inches on the front, so we'll do just 2 on the rear probably.
Yep.
And then then we'll go with that. So I like it so far. So let's just keep going, jack it back up, and let's go. All right, guys, just because I'm actually really excited about how this looks, check this out. So after I got the wheel nice and straight and everything, so it is raised up a little bit, which I wanted it raised up for the winter, like I said. But I think it looks really good, especially when it comes to how much, the wheel filling up the fender and everything like that. Because if we come around to the side that's still on the lowering springs that the previous owner had, this side, it's a lower, but at the same time, I just hate how much the wheel is pushed in there. So I do like the fact that the Faction Fabs, with the adjustable ride height, I'm able to get it up a little bit higher for the weather. And also, it just looks, I think it looks a little bit better at this height. And then definitely, of course, when it gets warmer outside and the snow's off the ground, I'm definitely going to be dropping this thing back down, get some bigger wheels and everything. But yeah, for now, I think this looks great. So I'm going to go ahead and jack the car back up and get to the rears. All right, let's get it done. see where this thing goes.
Not bad.
Wow, not bad at all, actually. I mean, this might be a little more gap than in the front, but
It is a little bit more, but it doesn't look bad. Like
yeah,
from the shop back here.
Oh man, yeah, I mean it's definitely high, but it's not bad at all. Like I think this looks clean, at least.
It looks like a rally car.
Yeah, yeah, right. All right, so that's not too bad. Oh my god, it looks so much better than this side though. Like comparing it to this side, it definitely fixed that outrageous camber issue we had. Like this side, because this is pretty bad. Definitely low, of course, but I don't like that at all. So I think we're in positive movement. We're going positive right now. This is good. So yeah, this looks good.
It does.
Nice.
Nothing looks weird.
Check it out. There we go. So yeah, that's the front. That's the rear. Yeah, overall so far, I'm pretty happy about this. So I'm just going to update you all once I get the other side done and we're ready to get this thing adjusted to the softness we want and get it on the road. So check back in once all this is done. What is going on, guys? So the coilovers are installed, and yeah, I thought I'd come out the next day after having the coilovers installed and tell you guys a little bit about my experience with them so far and what I think about them. So right off the bat, last night I drove around a little bit. Me and Dan kind of tested out the coils a bit, and they are incredible. Okay, so first of all, when it comes to overall just ride quality, these coilovers are so nice. Now before we found out that the suspension that I had on the car when I bought it from the previous owner were H&R springs paired with these stock struts or shocks, and it was terrible, absolutely terrible. The ride was super bouncy, harsh, jarring. You could feel every bump in the road, and it just was not fun at all to drive around on that setup. It was just terrible. But now, riding with these, like right off the bat, the first thing I noticed is how smooth the ride is. Now, these are the FR spec coilovers, right? These are track-oriented coilovers, 12K spring rates in the front, 10K in the rear. When I first got these, I was kind of nervous. I was like, wow, these are probably going to be terrible for daily driving. They're not going to be smooth at all. Complete opposite. I have the coilovers on full soft right now. They feel so good. Really nice. Like I'm not saying it rides like a Cadillac, no, but they ride great. It's just, so when you hit a bump in the road, especially when you're up in speed, when you hit a bump in the road, you really just go over it. And if it is like a big divot or pothole or something like that, just like that, the car has so much more composure than it did before, and it settles so much quicker. So you have the initial hit of the bump, but then the car is just good to go right after. Like it's not like before when I would like be bouncing up and down because the previous H&R springs weren't that good at all. This is completely different. So what I'm gonna do right now is just show you guys kind of how it is to ride around on these coilovers on full soft. Then we're going to do a test 16 clicks up, which is the middle, and then we're going to go all the way up to 32, which is full hard, basically like your track mode adjustment. So I'm going to get to a good road to do that, and then I will show you how these coilovers ride. All right. I'm at a pretty good area where I can kind of show you guys how the car handles, how it's driving. So, and remember, we are on full soft right now. So, let's see what we can do on this. And the roads are a little bit wet right now, so I'm not going to do anything too crazy, honestly. Just going to kind of take it easy for right now. so much better. Oh my God. All right, so the battery just died on my camera, but we are good to go. We got a spare. But like I was saying before, yeah, the car just feels so much more composed. Everything feels crisp. It's so responsive. The turn-in's insane. It just feels so much better as a car. Just drivability, everything has just been increased so much just by one modification. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if full soft being this good already, I think that's, you know, reason enough to definitely look into these coilovers if you haven't already. And just even how flat the car stays, I think is it's very notable, because the car stays so flat. Like when accelerating, there's no, like, you know, none of this movement. The car stays super flat. When you turn, stays super flat. The body roll, even in full soft mode, the body roll is pretty much eliminated. And I've already tested the car out in the middle setting and on full hard, and in those settings, completely gone. So it'll be fun, kind of like testing out where the soft spot is, or where you know, I want the coilovers to be. Because obviously, this is my, you know, second time actually in the car driving on these coilovers, so I still need to find out where I want to set them for daily driving, spirited driving, stuff like that. Definitely worth the 850, 60 bucks I think I ended up paying for them. So, oh, that turn-in, so good. Wow. Feels so good. So good. I love driving this car now. Before, when I was on the other suspension, it was so annoying to drive this car because everything was just harsh. Like any little bump and crack in the road, just up and down. It gave me a headache driving this car, and it was just annoying, you know. So I hated driving this car, and you know, that's really why I went for, you know, suspension modification first. And the only reason I picked Faction Fab was because, one, didn't hear of a lot of people running these, and I like to do things that are different when it comes to, you know, making a car my own. I don't want to just go with the most, you know, well-known brand that everybody's running, because I know those are good. I want to go with something that I don't know is really good, but, you know, there's still at least enough reviews out there to where I can kind of trust that I'm putting my money towards a good product. And Faction Fab kind of ticked off all the boxes. There were every time I saw a review on this, I only see about like 5-6 reviews about these specific coilovers online, or like YouTube, stuff like that. And they're all really good, like praising the product. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna try these coilovers out, see how they ride. They're 860 bucks. So I mean, as far as that goes, I really can't go wrong. Okay guys, so I now have the car at 16 clicks up towards hard. So this is they're 32-way adjustable, so this is the middle setting for hardness. And I mean, right off the bat, I really like this setting. Even when I drove this out last night after installing the coilovers, this setting is like prime. Oh man, like you still maintain like the, you know, a good amount of the ride quality, but everything, like the car just gets so much more just tight and ready to go, and I love it. Wow. So again, this road's a little bit wet, so I'm not going to do anything crazy. Love how flat the car stays when you're accelerating too, because I was so sick of like that, you know, back and forth. I was sick of that, you know. I really like, you know, staying planted and, you know, having that confidence, you know, accelerate 1, take a corner at higher speeds 2, and to be able to trust that when I make, you know, when I make changes in the steering wheel, the car's going to react to that right away, and it's going to, you know, feel good. You know, it's not just going to be this floaty, wavy reaction. Don't really have time, but I might not switch to full hard right now. I'll probably save that for a future video and a future track day, to be honest. But one thing that I do want to say is that when I drove it on full hard last night, the biggest thing that I noticed was just how different everything was. Like the car is just completely different when it's from like full soft to full hard. Everything changes. It's so crazy to me. You know, and obviously, you know, some people are going to say, you know, well, that's what's supposed to happen, but it's like actually, you know, feeling the change, especially with a product that's like a cheaper product, you know. In my opinion, $800 is, you know, rather cheap for a set of, you know, good quality coilovers. And that's what you get with this. You get an $800 plus, you know, $850, $860 set of coilovers that are actually really good quality coilovers. And that's crazy to me. But yeah, going back to the differences in the coilovers, like from full soft, like I said, great for daily driving on the FR spec coilovers. I know Faction Fab makes the F spec and the FL. Honestly, I don't see why you just wouldn't go straight to the FR spec, these right here, because you're still getting incredible ride quality. You're still getting, you know, of course with these, you're getting the best track focused / spirited driving set of coilovers that they offer. So with these, I think these are the best possible coilovers that you can go with in this price range for sure. You know, I've ridden on a few other brands of coilovers, not in this car specifically, but in other cars. And I mean, I just really favor how Faction Fab coilovers feel, how they respond, the ride quality, everything about them. It feels honestly like when you're just doing your daily driving, getting groceries, whatever, it feels like you're just riding on stock suspension on another car. Like I said, I haven't ridden on the stock in this car, but it feels like other cars' stock regular suspension. You know, it's not overly rough, it's not overly bouncy, it's not, it just feels good, just feels normal. But then when you notice when you really get into the gas, when you really start to hit it, that's when you really start to notice, you know, things are getting kind of crazy and it feels really good. So that is about it. And like I said before, overall, highly recommend people buy Faction Fab coilovers because they are great. Thank you for watching this video, and yeah, look forward to the next or episode 3 of the WRX build. Peace out, guys. Thank you.